Hello, folks, and welcome back to the WD Broadcasting Network. Here tonight at the virtual Five Flag Speedway for the first race in the new season for the Mid-South iRacing Tour Super Late Models. A great turnout of cars here tonight. 29 Super Late Models on the property here, and we are in store for one of the greater races you're going to see here on the WD Broadcasting Network. Right now, you see on the screen the number 18 of Hunter Harriet. Justin Brooks designs Ford Mustang to his inside, rolls the number 28 Triple H Racing machine of Jesse Henderson. Henderson in the 6th spot, Harriet back in the 17th place spot. At the top of the board right now is the number 9 machine of Alex Sexton, the Mattawan, Michigan driver. Right behind him on the racetrack, sitting in the 18th position, the number 5, the Jeff Gannis car of David Lux. As we got 5 minutes left in practice here. A couple more cars on the racetrack now. The P1 Performance Switch and Dairy Queen number 37 from Fort Wayne, Indiana, Chandler Hutchins, making his way onto the racetrack. Right behind him, P1 Performance teammate in the 20th spot, Jaden Russell in the 42 machine. We also have a couple other big names here tonight. Carter Russo, last season's champion, sitting in the 9th place spot on the board. Ryman Castle in the Rocket Fabrication and Suspension P1 Performance number 1 machine, sitting in the 15th place spot on the board. A very, very competitive field here at Five Flags. Drew Chance in the number 12 machine. We saw him last night in the short track street stock series at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. Chance picking up the 2nd place finish, trying to carry that momentum into tonight. Also on the racetrack, the Tri-State Disposal number 112 machine, the Graphics by WD entry. He comes out of turn number 4, Ethan Wolf on the speedway, sitting in the 4th spot. Right behind him, also running last night in the short track street stock series, Peyton Burkett, as he gets a little bit slideways out of turns 1 and 2, and he slides the car through turns 3 and 4. There's a quick rundown of some of the drivers in our field, as you can see just how chaotic this track is getting for practice here, as we have 29 cars. What a crazy turnout here at the Five Flag Speedway. So we're going to do our best to get good shots of everybody here tonight. We're going to get a word from our fast qualifier when they're done qualifying. As a current rundown of our top 10, Alex Sexton in the number 9, sitting in the 1st spot. Mark Keatman Jr. 2nd, Caden Tufts 3rd, Ethan Wolf 4th, Mike Ashby rounding out the top 5. The 6th spot belongs to the 28 of Jesse Henderson, Drew Chance in the 2C. In the 7th spot, Peyton Burkett, the 17 8th, Carter Russo in the 21 9th, and rounding out the top 10 is the number 95 machine of Dalton Collins. Here's a shot of Dalton as he rolls out of turns 3 and 4. As there's a look at the times here, you see very, very close. The top 5 or so all within the same 100th of a second. Same 10th of a second there. You get in the top 20 and there's only about a 10th of a second separation there from those top 20 cars, and it stays tight throughout the rest of the field. So we're going to be in store for a very intense and very exciting qualifying run here. Caden Tufts in the 00, currently sitting in the 3rd spot in practice, going out for some more laps. As we saw him race a couple races last season with the Mid-South iRacing Tour, making his Season 3 debut here. Last season's champion, Carter Russo also with us here tonight. Right behind him is the 2G of Jimmy Gowker, which Jimmy sits in the 11th spot. A lot of cars here tonight. So we'll get a quick rundown of some of our cooler cameras here tonight. We have the P1 Performance Digger camera down in turns 3 and 4. If you like the old NASCAR broadcasts from the 10s and the late 2000s and the early 2010s, you're going to recognize this Digger cam right in the ground right here, and you're going to get a good view of those cars coming through the center of the corner, as you see right there. A lot of cars going by it at some high speeds, so there's one of our good cameras. Our Graphics by WD Turn 1 camera right here. The MK Performance Turn 2 and backstretch cams right here. Co-heating and air conditioning Turn 3 camera. And rounding it out is the Graphics by WD starter camera. So we're going to be using this camera on the restarts. But I got to tell you, my favorite one to watch from so far is that Digger camera. As you see the cars starting to pull off of the racetrack. Practice laps winding down. We got about 10 seconds left in this practice session. Alex Sexton in the number 9 machine, currently at the top of the board, the 16:24, just a couple of hundredths faster than the rest of the field. Mark Keatman in second. Caden Tufts is going to finish the practice session in third. Ethan Wolf comes home in fourth, at Mike Ashby fifth. We're going to be in store for a great qualifying session here, as we see right now the practice session results. Alex Sexton, Mark Keatman, we mentioned those guys. You see everybody on the board here. There is the rest of the field. 28 cars taking time in that in that practice session, as we are going to get ready for qualifying. And the first car to take a time from Osceola, Indiana, the P1 Performance, Zach Woods Racing. Row H Motorsports, number 61. He comes out of turns 3 and 4. Second lap time for Zach Woods is going to be a 16:48. Put him 7th quick on the board now, as they are really starting to jump up. Dalton Collins in the 95 at the top of the board so far, with 15 cars taking time. Ryman Castle in the P1 Performance number 1 machine, getting a little bit slideways at the line right there. He's going to fall off on his second lap. There's still a few heavy hitters left to go. Drew Chance popping up to 4th place on the board. Mike Ashby to 3rd. Mark Keatman Jr. on his first lap going to the 7th place spot in the MK Performance number 2. As he comes out of 4 for the second lap time, Mark Keatman's going to go a 16:38, so he's going to pick it up just a little bit more. Sorry, 16:37. Jesse Henderson in the 28 on the racetrack now. First lap time, 16:53. Colin Murphy in the number 9 machine, jumping up to 9th place on the board. As he comes out of turns 3 and 4, a little bit slideways with the rear tires. Going to pick it up just a little bit, moving him up into the top 5. As now on the racetrack, the number 21 last season's champion, Carter Russo. You see him getting a little bit sideways, put him 3rd quick on the board. It looks like that's going to be it, as he's way wide through turns 1 and 2. It's a very exciting qualifying session here, as that's going to do it for Carter Russo. One more driver on track, the number 97 machine of Michael Bumgarner. There we go. Bumgarner. There we go. I had a hard time looking at that one as he pops up to 11th quick on the board. As he rolls down the back straightaway in the white number 97 machine. As he's sideways coming out of turns 3 and 4. We've seen a lot of cars having trouble on the exit of turns 3 and 4 as Ethan Wolf comes around for his first lap time. Sorry, that's the green flag he just got right there. As he's rolling through turns 3 and 4. As it looks like he blinks out just a little bit. And that might wrap up the qualifying session. As I say that, he looks like he went into the wall right there is Ethan Wolf. I do believe that might do it for qualifying here at Five Flags. Dalton Collins on the pole. Hunter Harriet in the second spot, not too far off. His fast time in this session was a 16:30, so these cars definitely slowing down a little bit from that practice session. We're going to take a moment and get a word from our fast qualifier, Dalton Collins. We're working on a way here to get Dalton Collins in the voice chat. Is the qualifying session is over, and that's going to do it for Economy Auto Parts qualifying here at the Five Flags Speedway. And here's a quick rundown of the grid here. Tonight on the pole is the number 95 machine of Dalton Collins. See him right there on the bottom side of the racetrack. Dalton Collins on the pole. To his outside, Hunter Harriet in the 18 machine. Carter Russo, last season's champion, rolling off P3. Mike Ashby in the Justin Brooks Designs 00 P4. Drew Chance in the number 12 in rounding out the top 5. Colin Murphy 6. Justin Haswell and Ryman Castle make up row number 4. Row number 5 consists of Mark Keatman, who we saw battling very hard with Carter Russo last season for the championship. He's going to roll off 9th. Peyton Burkett in the 10th spot. Row 6, Michael Bumgarner and Alex Sexton. Preston Boers, we saw last season quite a bit, and Jesse Henderson make up row number 7. Jaden Russell, Jake Brooks, row number 8. Cooper Ward in the 99 rolls off 17th with Zach Woods in the 61 to his outside. John Piet in the number 5 machine rolling off 19th, and the 0C or 00C of Caden Tufts coming out in the 20th position. Chandler Hutchins in the switch number 37 rolling off 21st. Ethan Wolf in the 112 22nd. Kenneth Kuko and Zach Coyer making up row number 12. Mark Fuca and David Lux gonna make up row 13. Joseph Cizek and Jimmy Gauk are going to round out the field. You see the rest of the field there? As on the pole will be the number 95 machine of Dalton Collins. As we did not expect that based on what we've seen in the practice session, but he is on the pole here tonight for the first race of the Mid-South iRacing Tour. As folks, this is going to be we are set up here for a very good night of racing. 100 laps here in the Super Late Model Division at Five Flags on the iRacing.com simulator. As the field comes around turns 3 and 4 for the final time under pace lap conditions. Dalton Collins and Hunter Harriet going to see the green flag next time by as the white flag is displayed right here. We are going to be going green in one lap in the Mid-South iRacing Tour season. We'll get the ticker ready and going here. As the lights are off on the iRacing.com pace car, the field follows closely behind. Field following closely behind. It's in the hands of Dalton Collins and Hunter Harriet as they come out of turns 3 and 4. Dalton Collins into the loud pedal, and we are green here in the Mid-South iRacing Tour. Carter Russo in the number 21 machine off to a great start, already slipping by Hunter Harriet in the number 18. Here comes Russo looking to make it interesting on lap number 1. As they roll out of turns 3 and 4, Colin Murphy up on the top side of Justin Haswell for the 6th spot, trying to make things happen early up on top. Mark Keatman in the number 2 right behind them, trying to find somewhere to go as we roll into turns 3 and 4. Up in front of them, Drew Chance looking to the inside of Mike Ashby. That's for the 4th spot. He's going to think better of it and take a moment and relax here. Justin Haswell still trying to get it done on the inside of Colin Murphy. Mark Keatman Jr. now looking to the inside of the number 97 of Michael Bumgarner. Is almost contact made there as they rolled through the center of the corner. Bumgarner up on the top. Haswell slipping up in the 85 as well. The 2 of Keatman down on the bottom, trying to get around Michael Bumgarner so he can set his sights on Justin Haswell. Colin Murphy, the number 9 machine in the middle of the 4-car sandwich there, trying to get around the 12 of Drew Chances. They're all stacked up on the bottom. Murphy up the racetrack, making contact with the front bumper of Justin Haswell. And here comes Preston Boers to the inside, trying to take away that 9th place spot. As Preston Boers able to get around, as Carter Russo up front has taken the lead. Dalton Collins slipping back to the bridesmaid seat is already off to a good start. Our champion from last season, Carter Russo, up and leading once again. As out back, Zach Woods and Caden Tufts battling for the 15th spot. In front of them, Jaden Russell. Here comes Caden Tufts looking to the inside of Russell for that 14th spot. Give it to Caden Tufts as they come out of turn number 4. Tufts now has his sights set on the number 9 machine of Alex Sexton. As still right there, Justin Haswell stuck up on that top side, trying to hold off Michael Bumgarner for that 7th place spot, as the field is really tight going through turns 1 and 2. Watch them as they come down the back straightaway. Big field of super late models here. And we are still green after 9 laps of green flag racing. Here comes Michael Bumgarner to the bottom of Mark Keatman, trying to make something happen. As Keatman slipped up a little bit on the exit of turn number 4 that time, and Michael Bumgarner got a chance to get to that inside lane as he's going to battle around Justin Haswell. Haswell up top in the 85. Here comes Preston Boers as well. As up front, Mike Ashby in that 00 machine right behind Justin Brooks Designs teammate Hunter Harriet in the 18. Those guys trying to get around the number 95 of Dalton Collins, as we are now 10 laps into this one, coming to lap number 12. Carter Russo up front, still your early leaders. Comes out of turns 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. These guys not getting a set of tires here tonight, and everybody's on the same equipment here, fixed setup racing here at Five Flags. So it's all going to come down to who's going to have it at the end and who's going to be able to save those 4 Hoosier tires. Because right now, Carter Russo doing a good job of maintaining pace in that MK Performance number 21. It's Alex Sexton now in the 19, getting around Ethan Wolf for that 14th spot. Jesse Henderson in front of him is, Alex Sexton having some trouble there in the number 9, falling way off the pace. He drops back all the way out back. Everybody looks like they keep it clean and green, and Sexton dropping back through the field. Looks like he's having some connection problems there. Is everybody able to slip by him? Cooper Ward up on the top side of Jaden Russell. That's for the 17th spot. Is Russell able to get by? Here comes John P in the 5 machine trying to get around him. Contact made. Cooper Ward able to hang on to it. Here comes David Lux as well. Some of the guys back here really going for it early for the top 20 spot. Up front, Carter Russo still right back behind. We might have just seen our first caution flag of the night. We saw a couple of guys, Drew Chance in the number 12 machine, spun around in the bottom of turns 1 and 2. It looks like the field keeps it green, but Drew Chance lost every bit of ground that he made up. As wow, we stay green after that one, but Drew Chance getting booted out of the way by the 00 Mike Ashby. Here comes Hunter Harriet in the number 18, looking for that second spot on Dalton Collins. Is it Russo up front, still in the lead? Here comes Dalton Collins, giving him a challenge. Getting closer and closer to that number 21 machine as they head into turns 3 and 4. Now, out of 4, we come to lap 20 out of 100. Still green in this one. As folks, this race is already starting to get exciting for those top spots. As last season's champion, the winningest driver in the Mid-South iRacing Tour, Carter Russo up front and leading laps once again. Dalton Collins right on that back bumper. Almost some contact made going through the center of the corner right there. But Russo able to hang on, and it looks like right now Collins getting a little bit of a better run through the center of 1 and 2, and Russo just able to drive that number 21 NK Performance Chevrolet off of the corner and maintain that gap. As 22 laps in now as they head down the back straightaway. Zach Woods in the number 67, able to get around Michael Bumgarner. As Jaden Russell now works the inside of the 97 machine. Here comes Jaden Russell for the 15th spot. As it is crazy here in iRacing to see guys battling for a top 20 finish here. An absolute amazing field of super late models put in here by the Mid-South iRacing Tour, as we are still green after 24 laps of green flag racing. Russell having a hard time getting around that 97 machine. This is for the 15th spot as Russell slides up the racetrack just a little bit. P1 Performance teammate right behind him, David Lux, trying to find somewhere to go with the Jeff Gannis number 5. As Lux tries the top side with Bumgarner, but it looks like Russell, a little bit of contact made on the exit of turns 1 and 2 right there. Russell sliding up the racetrack. Here comes David Lux looking to the inside of the 42. As Lux looking now to the inside as they head down the back straightaway. You see the whole field starting to get a little bit spread out. We'll go to the P1 Performance digger camera as everybody getting a little bit spread out. You see Drew Chance falling off the pace right here, and as we take a moment to look, there is Carter Russo as he is now approaching lap traffic in that MK Performance number 21. There's a bunch of great cameras offered up to us from our sponsors. Got to thank everybody that helps this WD Broadcasting Network and the Mid-South iRacing Tour. Without those guys, we wouldn't be here right now. As we look in on Mark Keatman in the number 2 machine, we're going to go on board with last season's runner-up, and we have our first caution of the night. I believe it was John Pete in the number 5 machine. We'll take a look at what happened there. But John Piet off the pace. So we find out what happened. It was the number 42 machine, Jaden Russell, having trouble on the exit of turns 3 and 4. We'll find out here if he had any help as he comes out here. The number 13 machine of Zach Hoyer. Didn't look like any contact. Russell might have tagged the wall. Made some severe contact there, I believe with the 57 of Jake Brooks. As the two of them made contact, Brooks with nowhere to go as Russell came back down the racetrack. So that's going to be some early trouble for the two of them. Jake Brooks in the 57 machine, sitting in the 26th spot. Jaden Russell down pit lane in the P1 Performance number 42. But up front, our leader, Carter Russo, still out front and in control of this one. Dalton Collins able to hang on to that second place spot after losing the lead on that initial start to Carter Russo. Hunter Harriet in the third spot, as we'll show you our top 20 here. On the left side of your screen, Carter Russo, Dalton Collins, Hunter Harriet, Mike Ashby, Mark Keatman Jr. going to round out the top 5. Is Justin Haswell in the 6th spot, Colin Murphy. One of our biggest movers in this race so far, Caden Tufts, sitting in the 8th spot after coming up from the 20th spot here. So Tufts already on one heck of a drive. Peyton Burkett in the 9th spot, Jesse Henderson 10th, rounding out the top 10. Another one of our big movers, couple more guys. Ethan Wolf in the number 112 machine, up 11 spots after starting 22nd. David Lux as well in the number 5 machine, up 11 spots. So a couple of guys really making some passes early here as we come to a third of the way into this one. As folks, you saw the pace car pulling ahead of the field. It doesn't look like it had any lights on, so we are going to be going green next time by. As you see the field one more time coming down the backstretch here under yellow flag conditions. Go into turns 3 here. And it's going to be in the hands of Carter Russo and Dalton Collins. The field goes to green here on the Graphics by WD starter cam as they head into turns 1 and 2. Ashby up on the top side trying to get around his teammate Hunter Harriet there for the 3rd spot. Ashby going to have to hang back for now as they head through turns 3 and 4. Harriet making it work up on the bottom. Here comes Mark Keatman trying to poke his nose into the top 3. As Keatman on the bottom, Colin Murphy right there in the 6th position after recovering from that early slide. Almost contact with Justin Haswell. Contact between the 17 of Peyton Burkett and the 00 of Caden Tufts here early on. Still under halfway. Tufts with some more contact. The two of the drivers maybe having some early troubles racing around each other. With 37 laps in, not the kind of thing that you want to be starting here. As up front, still Mike Ashby hanging on that top side is now, he gets into the back of the 18. What a save from Hunter Harriet, and they're going to keep it green. Everybody checking up as the caution flag flies. And it's Jesse Henderson at the top of turns 1 and 2 in the Triple H Racing Graphics by WD number 28. I believe I saw Peyton Burkett there as well. So we will take a look at what happened here. So there's 2 separate incidents here as we'll take a look at what happened to the 17 of Peyton Burkett. As it looks like here, going through turns 1 and 2, Burkett gets some contact from the 112 of Ethan Wolf, and Henderson got some contact from the number 5 machine of David Lux, as we'll go on board with Mr. Lux here. See what exactly happened. So here's an onboard with the number 5 machine. You see Jesse Henderson in front and just a little bit of contact there, and around goes the number 28. Lux going to have to suffer with some left side or some left front damage, but going into this one, he should be fine. The field heads down the back straightaway. The light's still on the iRacing.com pace car. We're under caution for the 2nd time here tonight. Your top 20 up on the screen as we are officially 40 laps into this one here. 100-lap event. As we said earlier, the drivers getting no tires here tonight. That will probably play a big factor in how we see a couple drivers running this race. Someone we see a lot of early, or with someone that we've seen a lot of on the WD Broadcasting Network, the number 2C, the number 2G of Jimmy Gowker, all the way up to 15th from the 28th starting spot, starting shotgun on the field, working his way into the top 15. And he's still got more ahead of him as we have just under 60 laps to go. David Lux up 13 spots now on the number 5. Ethan Wolf up 13 spots. And Caden Tufts up 12. So a couple really big movers here early on at 5 Flags. As the lights go out on the iRacing.com pace car as the field doubles up and heads into turns 1 and 2 to catch up with the leaders, Carter Russo and Dalton Collins, as they head down the back straightaway. The lights off on the iRacing.com pace car. It's going to roll into turns 3 and 4. Field laying back from the pace car just a little bit as we don't go green this time. The lights were off on the iRacing.com pace car, but the admin's electing to delay the green. Race control not happy with the lineup. Wanted to make sure everybody was all nice and bunched up. As they head down the back straightaway, will be going green this time by as the field gets nice and bunched up. It'll be Russo, Collins, Keatman, and Harriet leading the field to green. As the pace car makes the hard left turn into the pits, it's going to be in the hands of Carter Russo and Dalton Collins. Russo with another good restart. Collins in his slot. They're able to slot in right behind him as they roll through turns 1 and 2. 3 wide in the back. Ethan Wolf making some early moves in that number 112 machine as he gets around the 37 of Chandler Hutchins. On that start up front, Mark Keatman Jr. looking at the inside of Hunter Harriet for the 3rd spot. Here comes Colin Murphy in the number 9 machine as well. Keatman down the back straightaway. Harriet sliding in there. Up the racetrack goes Keatman. Some contact made from the front bumper of the number 18 as they went into turns 3 and 4 that time. Colin Murphy in the number 9 in the 5th spot. Mike Ashby back to the 6th spot after running 3rd most of this race. Sorry, the 4th spot most of this race. As he gets underneath Colin Murphy and around goes the number 9. The caution flag will fly. As around goes Colin Murphy out of turns 3 and 4. So we'll take a look at this from our friends in the Goodyear blimp. What exactly happened here? You see the cars going down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4 here. Mike Ashby on the bottom side. It looks like we might have had some netcode contact. And oh, Jimmy Gauker in the number 2G also collected. Very hard contact with that outside wall for Jimmy Gauker, as he was just an innocent bystander there with really nothing to do with that accident. He makes some big contact and ends up upside down on that front straightaway. We'll take another look at that crash from our graphics by WD. Sorry, our MK Performance Turn 1 cam. As you see, everybody going for some wild slides. It's a way bigger accident than I first anticipated. Alex Sexton in the 9 involved, Caden Tufts in the 00, Jake Brooks in the 57. You see Ethan Wolf in the 112 rolling by right there. Of course, Colin Murphy in the number 9 is a crazy accident right there as they came through turns 1 and 2. As still up front, our leader, Carter Russo, able to lead a good majority of this race. You see the field pacing through turns 3 and 4. There's 23 cars still on that lead lap. A couple cars down pit road getting some damage repaired. Caden Tufts in the in the 00 on pit road. Jimmy Gauker in the 2 as well. Zach Hoyer in the 13 just getting out of the pits, a pretty beaten and battered number 13 at that. As we reach halfway in this one, we are under caution for the 3rd time here tonight. But up front, it is all Carter Russo so far in this one, as he has had complete dominance over the field. As I believe the field might be getting the 1-to-go signal this time, but we're going to have to check in with the iRacing.com pace lights, and you see right there, pace lights do go off, which means we will be coming back to green this time by Mark Keatman in the catbird seat in the number 3 position. Hunter Harriet to his outside. We saw him make some contact with, I believe, the number 2 of Mark Keatman. So those two already making some contact. The pace car makes the hard left turn onto the pits, and it's going to be in the hands of Carter Russo and Dalton Collins. Collins with a good restart that time. He's going to hang on the outside door of Carter Russo as they hang into turns 1 and 2. Heading out of 2, Carter Russo having to lay down on that bottom lane because here comes the black and yellow number 95 of Dalton Collins as the caution flies. So it looks like Ryman Castle in the Rocket Fabrication and Suspensions P1 Performance number 1 machine going around, going into 3. So we'll take a look at what happened here. As they came down the back straightaway, he's battling with Justin Haswell in the 85 machine. Looks like Haswell just makes the tiniest bit of contact. Zach Woods in the number 61 also involved. Ethan Wolf sliding in there late with nowhere to go. So Castle is going to go to the rear of the field after that one. As under caution for the 4th time here today, Carter Russo still up front. And under this caution flag period, folks, we are halfway in, halfway home. What are your picks down in the chat? Who is it going to be? As we have seen over half of this event, and you've seen how it's gone so far. Who do you got? The fans in the stands, we want to hear your opinions here on what is going to happen tonight. We got a couple guys cheering on Kenneth Kuko in the number 71 machine. I see Grady Woods down there cheering on son Zach Woods, who we just saw unfortunately get caught up in an accident. But we'll get Zach some screen time, as I believe he might be off of the racing surface, unfortunately. Zach Woods a couple laps down in the P1 Performance number 61 machine. As they roll out of turns 3 and 4. Russo still the leader. So we are closely approaching lap 60. This race has gone by pretty quickly. Those cars are all 28 of these drivers able to run green flag for the first 30 laps. You got to give them credit, guys. It is very hard, apparently, to run these races side by side without getting into somebody. But these guys are making it work here tonight. I believe we'll be getting the 1 to go signal this time by from the iRacing flagman. It's right here. It looks like the field is going to double up. As you see, the pace car going to slowly crawl its way through turns 1 and 2 and head down the back straightaway. The lights do go off on the iRacing.com pace car as the field passes the backstretch camera here and heads into turns 3 and 4. You see the P1 Performance digger camera gonna get us some digging right here. Carter Russo and Dalton Collins gonna lead us to the green. The field passes by, but here comes Carter Russo to the lead. Dalton Collins in the 95 trying to hang on up top. He's gonna slide in front of Mark Keatman on the bottom side. As caution is out once again for the 5th time here tonight. Looks like it was the 85 machine of Justin Haswell. As we see right here, Haswell in that 85 battling with Mike Ashby as they went into turns 1 and 2 right here. Haswell takes it up to the top side. Just makes a little bit of contact with that right front of the 00 machine. And around he goes, and it's just enough contact to bring out the yellow flag. As that puts us under caution for the 5th time here tonight. Still got a couple cars down and out of this one. 21 cars on the lead lap. So 21 cars in the lead lap, a couple guys Looking like they're out of this one. Ryman Castle in the number 1 machine is 4 laps down in the pits. Zach Woods 7 down. Caden Tufts 11. A couple guys that had some really, really good hopes in this one. Having some early troubles here at 5 Flags. But one guy who is not having some early troubles is our champion from last season, Carter Russo in the number 21. As it looks like the lights are off in the iRacing.com pace car. The field will be going to a single file restart this time as nobody is doubled up. It's going to be Dalton Collins and Carter Russo still leading us to the green. As it's going to be single file here. They come through the P1 Performance digger camera. Russo going nice and early there as they head down the front straightaway. That's going to give them a big jump as they head into turns 1 and 2. Here comes the field down the backstretch, all single file down. A couple cars with some damage, but still over 20 super late models running strong here at 5 Flags. Carter Russo still up in front in the lead. It's out back, Drew Chance and the number 99 of Cooper Ward trying to battle. Chance ended up getting around to the number 99 machine, but here comes Cooper Ward fighting back on that bottom side. Right behind them, David Lux on the inside of Peyton Burkett for the 12th position there. Jesse Henderson following closely behind them as a little bit of contact made down the back straightaway. The two of them guys leaning on each other just a little bit. Is Lux going to be able to get up and clear for that 12th spot? He'll leave the lane open for the crossover move, and it looks like David Lux is going to be able to bump himself up there. Here comes Michael Bumgarner for that 4th spot. New guy up in the top 5, Michael Bumgarner getting around Hunter Harriet. Here comes the 18 back to the inside. Good battle here for the 4th and 5th position here. The two guys leaning on each other just a little bit. Harriet not able to get it done so far. A little bit of contact made down the front straightaway. It's Bumgarner leaving a lot of room there for that 18 car, but the 18 car is using every inch of it as they head down the back straightaway. He's going to back off, and Michael Bumgarner safely moves himself into that 4th position. Mark Keatman Jr. up in front, trying to get around the 95 of Dalton Collins as we approach lap 70 out of 100. He knows that the 21 of Carter Russo has been saving those Hoosier tires this whole race. He has got to go, go, go. Mark Keatman really in a rush now with 30 laps to go at the line. 30 to go and 30 more laps of exciting racing here at 5 Flags. It's just now starting to get intense. You see at the top of your screen the current running order. Carter Russo in the lead, Dalton Collins second, Mark Keatman Jr. running in the 3rd spot, trying to get around Dalton Collins. Michael Bumgarner 4th, and rounding up the top 5 is the number 18 of Hunter Harriet. But a couple guys, Preston Boers, Alex Sexton, we haven't mentioned those two yet this race. Alex with some pretty severe front end damage, still making that P1 Performance number 9 work. Running in that 7th spot, trying to get around the number 27 of Preston Boers. They come to lap number 73 out of 100. Collins able to hang on to 4 now to that 2nd spot, but as the laps wind down, will Mark Keatman start to get more and more impatient to get around that number 95. 74 laps in the books now at 5 Flags. As Keatman looks like he's got a little bit better run down the backstretch, but Collins just able to roll that center of the corner just a little bit better and keep that number 2 machine at bay. It's now 20 cars on the lead lap here at 5 Flags. A couple guys going down and out. Battle for that 20th spot. Chandler Hutchins and Jake Brooks going at it there for the 20th spot. Hutchins in the number 37 machine from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Brooks up front in the 57 car. So we head back up front, looking at Alex Sexton there. Hunter Harriet in the 18, trying to get back around Michael Bumgarner for the 4th spot. Dalton Collins starting to inch a little bit closer to that to the back bumper of the MK Performance number 21. As Mark Keatman is right there on the back bumper. 3 cars under a blanket battling for the lead here. With 23 laps to go, is Keatman going to be able to get around Collins, or will Collins be able to get around Russo for this lead? We will find out soon as we come to 22 laps to go. The laps are winding down here. Russo still the leader. Mike Ashby getting around Jesse Henderson there for the 15th spot. Move the 00 into the 15th spot. And look at the brake rotors on the Justin Brooks Designs 00. He's definitely using up those rear brakes, trying to get the car rotated in the corner. As we are under caution, it looks like the number 2 machine of Mark Keatman with some troubles up in the top 3, and we see him off of the racing surface here, and we'll take a look at what happened here to the number 2 of Mark Keatman. As it looks like, I think it's David Lux actually out of turns 3 and 4 having some trouble there. So we'll take a look here. Watch the number 5 here get into the back end of Cooper Ward in the center of turns 3 and 4, and looks like out of 4, the number 5 machine just gets a little bit too sideways, ends up going around, locking it down, able to keep it clean, but bringing out the caution here at 5 Flag Speedway. As Mark Keatman unfortunately having connection issues, and that will change everything. That puts Michael Bumgarner in the number 97 car in that 3rd place spot. Hunter Harriet moves up into the 4th place position. Preston Boers 5th, and Alex Sexton now up to 6th, and everybody else goes up 1 position. But in a crazy turn of events, the runner-up in last year's season point standings has some connection issues on night number 1 here at 5 Flags. We'll give you a look at your current top 20 as they sit. Carter Russo, Dalton Collins, Michael Bumgarner, Hunter Harriet, Preston Boers, Alex Sexton, Drew Chance. The 29 up 20 positions from the 27th starting spot, Joseph Cizek. So keep an eye on the number 29 as they roll through turns 3 and 4. Russo leads Collins to the green. Collins looking back to the inside. Bumgarner thinks better of it, backing out for that 2nd spot, as here comes Dalton Collins trying to make a challenge for the lead as they come through turns 3 and 4. Here goes the field, still rolling good through turns 3 and 4. Michael Bumgarner challenging Hunter Harriet now for the 3rd position. I give the advantage to Bumgarner as they come down the back straightaway, and as I say that, it's a dead heat. Harriet with some problems though going through the corner. He's going to back off a lot of bit there as they go down the front straightaway. Preston Boers now in the Monster Energy number 27, looking at the inside, and here comes Dalton Collins. He's right there on the back bumper of the 21 machine, trying to get the lead desperately from Carter Russo with now 14 laps to go at the line. It's 14 to go at the line. Dalton Collins really starting to look to the inside of that 21. Some contact made down the back straightaway. Russo able to hang on, but here comes Dalton Collins. He's starting to get impatient here as he gets the runs off of the corner. Here he comes looking to the inside. Russo going to give him the line. Here comes the 95 looking low out of turns 1 and 2. Russo able to slam the door shut going into turns 3 and 4. As Russo shuffled up the track just a little bit, the bumper to the back of the 21. Here comes Dalton Collins once again to the bottom side, trying to make something happen. As Russo pinching inside, some more contact. These two drivers putting on an amazing show, leaning on each other just a little bit. Another bumper to the back of the 21 machine. Dalton Collins really trying hard to get this one here from Carter Russo. 11 laps to go. Collins trying desperately to get a nose out in front of the 21 of Carter Russo. As here comes the 95, looking to the bottom side, just not able to do it so far, but the flagman with both hands out of the flag stand. 10 laps to go. As here comes Dalton Collins, the closest we've seen him so far to the inside of that number 21 machine. As he looks to the bottom side, they're going to be dead even at the line. Give it to Russo for now, but here comes that 95, that 97 machine in the catbird seat as the caution flies. for the 7th time here tonight. Not what you wanted to see if you were the 95 of Dalton Collins, as the caution flag will fly for the 7th time. I believe it was Justin Haswell in the 85. So we'll take a quick look at what happened there as they came out of turns 3 and 4. Is it? I say that it's actually the 00 machine of Mike Ashby. Ethan Wolf also involved. We'll take a quick look at what happened here as they headed through turns 3 and 4. So you see Ashby in that 00, Ethan Wolf right in front of him in the 112, and there's some contact made, and they all stack up on the exit of turns 3 and 4. Alex Sexton climbing the wall in the P1 Performance number 9. Ethan Wolf able to get away safely. Cooper Ward left at the scene of the crime in the Signtech 99. As there goes Mark Keatman around him. He's a couple laps down and out of contention in this one. A very big shocker there from our champion, or runner-up in the championship last season. As in a crazy turn of events, we are going to be under yellow here for the 7th time with 6 laps to go. 6 laps to go to settle this one, folks. Will it be Dalton Collins or Carter Russo? My personal instinct says that Dalton Collins might be able to get him on the top side here, as you saw in that last run that Russo was able to hang on to the lead on that top spot. So look for Dalton Collins to try and get as best of a restart as he can here to try and take over that top spot. Is the light still on the iRacing.com pace car as they roll around turns 3 and 4? It looks like the lights might be going off on that iRacing.com pace car. We'll see the field come down the back straightaway as the lights still are on. 5 laps to go. Not going green this time by. The race control doesn't like the way that the lineup is right now, trying to get everything sorted out and looking pretty before they send the field back to the green flag. But it will be Carter Russo and Dalton Collins leading us to green with now under 5 laps to go. As the lights, I believe, going off on the iRacing.com pace car. You saw it at the bottom of your screen right there. As the field will be going back to green here. As they head into turns 3 and 4, and for possibly the final time tonight, we go to the P1 Performance Digger cameras. They roll through turns 3 and 4. Dalton Collins might have tried to get the jump there on Carter Russo. Collins gonna go through turns 1 and 2. He's gonna be right on the back bumper of Russo. Contact made of the 21 machine as they ride down the back straightaway. Here comes Dalton Collins with 3 laps to go. Carter Russo on the bottom, contact made. Here comes Michael Bumgarner to the bottom side. Put the 97 in the lead as the melee happens behind him. Preston Bohr is involved in the number 27 machine. Hunter Harriet in the 18 also involved. A lot of cars involved there in that one. As we'll take a quick replay of what happened here as the field went into turns 1 and 2. There's a crazy accident there going through the first set of corners here on that restart. As you see right here in the turn 1 camera, you see right here Ethan Wolf around, Preston Boers, Jesse Henderson involved. The number 96 of Alex Sexton also involved. It's an absolute crazy turn of events here. But that puts the number 97 of Michael Bumgarner in the lead. Who could have saw this one coming here? With 2 laps to go, we're going to have a green-white checkered finish. And the blank number 97 machine in the lead. as we are under caution for the 8th time here tonight. You see the field heading down the front straightaway and into turns 1 and 2 right here. Lights stay on the iRacing.com pace car. We're not going to go green this time by. Look at the MK Performance backstretch camera here. Got a few cars out of this one. 14 cars still on the lead lap. So 14 cars still have a shot at this one, if something else happens as crazy as that last restart. Folks, we'd like to thank you for sticking it out past the scheduled run time here. Sorry about that, folks. We had to get a quick camera swap in check there as we have 3 laps to go here. And it's going to be Michael Bumgarner and Carter Russo leading us to the green across the WD graphics by WD. Starter camera there. Russo able to hang on up top, but here comes Michael Bumgarner, who was in the lead on that restart. Some contact made as they head down the back straightaway. The 97 up into the 21 just a little bit as they come out of turns 3 and 4. The white flag is out. 1 more lap to go here at 5 Flags. Russo trying to make it work up on the top. Bumgarner on the bottom, coming down the back straightaway, dead even as they go into turns 3 and 4. It's going to be out of the turn number 4. Carter Russo slips up just a little bit. Michael Bumgarner is going to win here at 5 Flags. In a crazy turn of events, Michael Bumgarner able to sneak off and steal the victory here after that big pile up into turns 1 and 2. We thought all race it was going to be either the number 2 of Mark Keatman, the number 21 of Carter Russo, or the number 95 of Dalton Collins. But if you had Michael Bumgarner scratched off on your bingo card, congratulations, you have just won here tonight, as he is your winner. As Carter Russo ends up in the 2nd place spot, Mike Ashby in the 3rd position, Drew Chance 4th, and Justin Haswell rounding out the top 5. We'll go through our official results here in just a second. So here are your official results here at the 5 Flags Speedway. As your winner here tonight, Michael Bumgarner. Right behind him, guy who led most of this one, Carter Russo in the 2nd place spot. Mike Ashby ends up 3rd after the early trouble, being sent to the back a few times there in the 00. Drew Chance, after that early spin, recovering nicely for a 4th place finish. Justin Haswell rounding out the top 5. Kenneth Kuko in the number 71 coming home 6th. Cooper Ward in the Signtech 99 finishing 7th. Zach Coyer, after a pretty beaten and battered race car, he ends up in the 8th spot in the 13 machine. Joseph Cizek, our hard charger here tonight. Not our hard charger here tonight. As my lineup looks a little bit different than that one, but we'll take a look in just a moment here. As there might have been some cars that had some penalties there post-race, but our hard charger here tonight, Joseph Cizek, coming into the 9th place spot from the 27th position, so a lot of passing done there from the 20 machine. Dalton Collins rounding out the top 10. Alex Sexton in the number 9 coming home 11th. Top 12 position for Chandler Hutchins. Peyton Burkett in the 13th spot. David Lux comes home 14th. Mark Keatman 15th. Preston Bohr 16th. Hunter Harriet 17th. And rounding out the top 18 is Jesse Henderson. We'll leave the rest of the field up on the screen for you guys. It's a big field of 28 cars here at the Five Flag Speedway, which put on one heck of a show. So we're going to get a word from our top competitors here in just a moment. So we will be right back on the WD Broadcasting Network. You won't want to miss a word from our top competitors. As folks, we are back with our third place finisher, Mike Ashby, after what seemed like a hectic race for your Justin Brooks Designs double zero. You end up finding yourself in the third position at the end of the race. Sometimes you come out of these races and just dominate the whole race, and sometimes you just seem to come out of nowhere for a good finish. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, we got in some contact and had to go back to about 20th. Just glad we made it back up here. We had some engine damage, but we made it work.
Yeah, as we saw that early accident there, and just some unfortunate luck, but um, at the end of the race, your luck turned around and you found yourself in the third position. Anybody got to thank that got that double zero on the podium here tonight?
Elite Performance Industries, Justin Brooks Designs, JD Racing, and Will and Dillon Motorsports.
Alrighty, well, that is our third place finisher here tonight. Mike Ashby, after starting, I do believe, up in the top five, fourth position starting spot for Mike Ashby, ends up third here tonight. Next, we'll get a listen from our second place finisher, Carter Russo. See, well,
There.
Carter, we saw you leading most of that race and some late race drama there with the 95 of Dalton Collins. And you guys had some contact, and you guys were battling hard, and then there was a little bit more contact, which ended up getting you out of shape and allowed the 97 of Michael Bumgarner to slip right by you. You watched your win go up in smoke.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Every time I race with him here lately, seems like he's drives through me, but what can you do, I guess. But me and Bumgarner put on a good show. I could have tucked in the line and sent him up the hill, but I didn't want to do him like that. And just every time we've been around each other, we've had a few mess ups, but most of the time, we're side by side, clean. So yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good race. I was saving so much tire in the beginning 'cause I thought we were gonna go green, and then all of a sudden we had all these cautions, and it still seemed like I didn't have enough tire left. But that's just racing. Get them next week, which it's gonna suck. I'm going on vacation, have to take my rig down to the beach with me, and hoping that the Wi-Fi there is good enough to, you know, run iRacing. So if worst case, I'll do a start park, use it as a drop week.
Yes, you guys hear some unfortunate circumstances next week for the second place finisher here tonight. Could be detrimental to trying to go for a back-to-back championship run here in the Mid-South iRacing Tour. Remember Carter Russo winning last season at Fairgrounds to clinch the championship over another guy we saw here tonight, Mark Keatman. Carter, we saw you trying to hold off Dalton early in that run, and also Mark Keatman had some hard charges there as well until he fell off, or Mark fell out, and then that obviously the contact with Dalton. But fortunately, we were able to gather it back and keep the 21 on the podium and grab the second place spot here tonight.
Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody putting on this show. Mark Keeman Performance, Signature Homes, AutoZone, just everybody lets me do this race, and Jake Brooks for putting up this race, and love some good heart racing like we had every race since I've been running this league, and see if we can get 3 for 3 this year. Looking pretty decent so far, but a lot of races left.
Yeah, just that exactly. A lot of races left, and this was just the beginning here. So, Carter, I'm going to let you go and grab a word from our top spot here tonight, Michael Bumgarner. But congratulations on your second place run. We'll be getting Michael in the booth in just a moment. As coming into the booth now is Michael Bumgarner for the first victory in his Mid-South iRacing career. Michael, we saw you riding in the top 5 this whole race, and you just barely squeezed past the controversy happening right in front of you with Dalton Collins and Carter Russo, and at that last restart, you were able to hang on and grab the checkered here in the first race of the season at the Five Flag Speedway.
Yeah, no, we got we got some lucky breaks there towards the end to get us back up to the front, but I thought we were done at the start of the race when we got caught up in that wreck, and we didn't end up getting a caution. The guy spun her from me running inside the top 10, just trying to save tires and got some pretty good damage. I really didn't think we were going to be able to make it back up through there, but just calmed down and got her reeled back in and tried to save my tires right around back 15th and just slowly make up our spots as we went, and it seemed to work out. The cards seemed to fall in our favor towards the end, and we got up there and to the lead and was able to hold off Carter. He raced me clean. We kind of doored there towards the end and put on a good show, but I give him props. He did race me clean, so appreciate that, and I'm glad we were able to put on a good show for all the people watching.
As you guys both mentioned, a lot of respect between all of the drivers in here, and we saw some very, very clean racing up in the front for that top spot. It was a battle trying to get around Carter that whole race, and at first it was the 95 of Dalton Collins, but then right there at the end you threw your name into the hat, and as you mentioned, the cards fell into your favor and the whole tower went down right in front of you, and you were there to slide right on by and grab your first victory of the season here tonight. I'll give you a chance to thank anybody you got to thank that put you into victory lane here before we wrap things up here at Five Flags.
Now, I ain't got no sponsors on the car. That's why it's white right now. So if there's anybody out there that wants to sponsor it, they're more than welcome to. It's a bad fast billboard. It just ain't got no sponsors on it yet.
Alrighty, folks. Well, if you like what you saw here tonight from Mr. Bumgarner, be sure to give him a message and get your logo or name on the car, whatever you want here. As we will be back next week. We will be back next week at the. I'll check the schedule really quick. We'll be back next week at the Hickory Motor Speedway for 75 laps of racing, and you will not want to miss it here on the WB Broadcasting Network, as that's going to close things off here tonight at the Five Flag Speedway. We thank everybody for tuning in. If you like the video, like it. If you feel like any of your friends would want to see it, give the video a share. And that's going to do it here. Look forward to seeing you guys back next week at Hickory. Everybody have a good week, and as always, y'all take it easy.